Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, we have all the information regarding the student government elections.
And we have the new student government president in studio for an interview. MJ Baird will sit down with him to get the scoop on next year.
Senior Week tickets are still on sale, but the schedule is a little different this time around. We have all the details on this year's event.
All this and more coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
Live from the Student Center Piazza, this is the Q30 Newscast.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paige Meyer.
And I'm Chris Stacy. We had expected to have heard the results from the SGA elections by this time of our broadcast tonight. However, it is being reported that the grievances have been filed and are currently under review.
As of this moment, results will not be released tonight. We'll now toss it over to MJ, who is standing outside the SGA suite with an update. MJ?
All right, guys, thank you. Yeah, I'm live outside the SGA suite right now with Vice President for PR, Victoria Johnson. Victoria, first of all, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. So first, can you just give us a lowdown on what's really happening right now?
So there was a grievance filed. It was under review and appealed. So we're waiting for the election committee to appeal it, and they're going to be reviewing it, and then actions will be taken.
Is there any idea of the timetable of how long this grievance process is going to take?
We do not know yet, no.
Okay, so first of all, for our viewers who are listening, grievance has been filed, but has this been anything that has happened before in QUSGA?
There have been grievances filed in the past, but not to this extent where we haven't submitted the election results.
And as far as we know, it is just the president election that a grievance has been filed, or more than one election? More
than one election. The 3 executive board positions, vice president of the student body, or the Student Government Association, student body president, as well as vice president for finance. And so Austin Calvo was running unopposed for the VP of Student Experience. Is it safe to say he has won that election? Yes, he has officially won that election. Okay, Feel Victoria. Free to congratulate him. Victoria, thank you so much for your time, guys. Back to you at the desk, and we'll see you later on. Victoria, thank you. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, this election season, we have heard from those on student government and those hoping to be elected. We are now going to hear from the students on what they hope SGA can do for them in the coming year. Christina Vitas has the details.
Election season for the Student Government Association is one of the busiest times of year for the organization. As students were encouraged to visit DUQU to submit their votes, concerns for the coming year and the tasks ahead for the newly elected officers are already accumulating.
I think it's super important. It's important because our voices need to be heard, and by voting for your choice representative, that's how you're going to be heard.
I live off campus. I don't spend a lot of time on campus, so I know a lot of them have been campaigning on campus with posters and stuff, and I know also as the college kid mentality, as we're walking through the halls, we're just down on our phones. We're not really looking at all the posters and stuff, so I think we kind of block it out.
Honestly, I just want overall improvement to the school, maybe better meals or more options. I don't know if they really control that, but whatever they can do.
I think that there could be change for the better. The speed bumps could definitely be taken out. That's a big thing. You know, there's so many speed bumps on this campus, in the garage, no joke. There's you're trying to do 5 miles an hour down in the garage, and it feels like you're getting spikes thrown at your car. So they could definitely take those out. Maybe the president could look into that.
I've seen a lot of things saying taking the student life back. I would love to see more representation, and I'd love to meet the representatives and see them around a lot. Mm-hmm.
Last semester, a vote was held by the SGA members to remove and impeach Helen Dong from the organization. This semester, another vote was held to decide if she was going to be eligible to run for another position. It was decided that she could. Nung An has the story.
Quinnipiac students can expect to see her face everywhere once again. Helen Dong is trying to come back to SGA. She is running for Vice President of Finance.
My campaign will be focusing on funding new resources of funding and also reduce unnecessary consumption.
But it has not been an easy journey. Last semester, Dong was impeached from SGA after an incident at the International Business Dinner.
It takes a lot of nerve to even want to come back to a group that did that to you. So I think that goes to show that she has a true passion for the student body.
Dong left SGA at the end of last semester, but the impeachment was lifted. When people asked if she would go back, she said her answer has been the same.
If the student body want me to go back, I would be more than honored.
With the election coming up, Dong's been working hard for her campaign. Her posters are hung in almost every dorm and in the student centers.
So I believe in her. I think that everyone else should also give her a second chance. Go Helen Dong.
Dong hopes to make changes for the community.
We have to create a better Bobcat community, and the best place to do it from is SGA.
From Quinnipiac University, I am Yungan, Q30 News.
Quinnipiac is expanding and revamping their on-campus housing for students. From new living learning communities to a new residence hall on York, Callie Keys is here to talk about the additions to residential life. Callie?
Thanks, Paige. Last Thursday, Quinnipiac announced that a new residence hall on the York Hill campus was approved by the Hamden Planning and Zoning Commission. The North Residence Hall is being designed for seniors and will include amenities such as air conditioning, single rooms, and 3 community rooms. One of the community rooms will accommodate more than 200 people and will serve as an additional meeting space for the university's various student organizations. This new residential hall will be built behind the Crescent's Residence Hall, which you can see here. Right here is where the new residence hall will be built. And this is not the only new change to come to Quinnipiac's residential life. 2 living learning communities are being added for the next year. Quinnipiac's Office of Residential Life is offering 2 new learning living communities starting next year.
The first one is a community for students in the natural sciences majors. It's specifically for participants in the Q-STEP program, which is for underrepresented groups and first-generation students. The other community is in engineering and computer science.
The purpose for each LLC is to allow students who are interested in certain subjects to engage in a community who has similar goals, interests, and passions. And for many students, being a part of an LLC makes a big impact on their college experience.
We see students who were in learning communities as first-year students then continue to maintain their friendships and academic connections throughout their time at QU. We have RAs, for example, that were in those communities when they were first-year students, and now a couple years later they're in a leadership role working with those very same communities. So I definitely see a nice connection between the communities and a sense of belonging.
While many recognize the positive aspects that come from being able to be a part of an LLC, Dominic Malazzo, a student in the Live Well community, also sees some negatives.
People in the living learning community don't really venture out to other people. They mainly stick to the people on the floor.
Despite this, the Department of Residential Life is looking to add more LLCs for other majors and interests. The freshman class representatives are also working on an initiative to add LLCs to sophomore year residence halls.
I figured that it would just keep like a nice continuation of communities and just like friendships, and it might make it easier with like the communication and Live Well and honors program because you're taking similar course loads.
This morning, Mark Tavillibus said that LLCs for sophomores could be a possibility, as the Office of Residential Life is interested in everything related to living learning communities. So while the future of these LLCs right now are uncertain, it sure does look bright. Chris, Paige, back to you.
MJ is still standing out front of the SGA suite and has some more news for us.
MJ, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, guys. We just have an update here with the SGA election information. So, first off, as we heard from Victoria Johnson earlier in this newscast, there has been grievance reports filed in 3 of the 5 elections for SGA Executive Board. So what that comes down to, you have to look at the SGA Constitution. So first, you have the Election Committee. There's 5 members on it that are currently on SGA who have been motioned to be on that and then seconded and in turn picked on it. 1 advisor as well as the SGA vice president. So there's 7 members on the QU SGA election committee. So according to the SGA Constitution, a grievance is defined as a violation of Section 4 of the election policy. So what is Section 4, you may ask? Well, that is the campaign policy rules. So a grievance is saying that someone who is campaigning for one of these positions may have broken one of the campaign rules. So the next steps are any QU undergrad can submit a grievance report but it's unclear right now who were the people who actually submitted these grievances. But again, they were for all three of the QU SGA, or three of the 5 SGA e-board positions. A 2/3 vote of this is again according to the SGA Constitution, a 2/3 vote of the election committee can overturn the limitations where a grievance has to be filed within 24 hours of the alleged violation. So it is seemingly that this violation has occurred, or these violations have occurred in the last 24 hours. The candidates who are in question are allowed to go to the election committee's meeting regarding said grievance filed reports, and they can ask questions and hear what they may have done wrong there. As for the appeals process, which Victoria Johnson said these grievances are under appeal, letters must be filed to the chair of the election committee. That is within 1 day of the grievance being filed. So 24 hours from tonight is when we may have a decision. The advisor then determines if there's grounds for said appeal. So the SGA advisor will be involved in this as well. And the possible results are an overturn or a concurrence in the original vote of the election committee. So that appeal decision is final. And that may not happen for another day. As I said, 24 hours from the moment of the appeal to when things may be heard. That's all we have for this part of the show. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have more.
Great job.
Whether you're on the quad, in your room,
or heading to class,
tune in to Q30 News.
For stories by student journalists you can trust.
We are covering the latest here on campus and in surrounding areas. Get the news you need to know every Wednesday night.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Thanks for sticking with us. Earlier this evening, Quinnipiac School of Communication hosted the Mountain Film Festival. The film festival travels internationally and year-round, showing some of the current and most loved films from their annual festival. Quinnipiac School of Communications is hosting the Mountain Film Festival. The event includes a variety of short films for students to watch. Peter Sumby has more on why the event is here at Quinnipiac.
Why it means a lot to Quinnipiac is they have a world tour all over the globe, and they select maybe 30 to 40 different sites during the course of a year. And we happen to be one of those sites.
During the event, the School of Communications announced who they will be sponsoring to attend the National Mountain Film Festival in Colorado.
This week is Islamic Awareness Week, and the Quinnipiac Muslim Student Association is hosting events to raise awareness and inform the Quinnipiac community about Islam. The week kicked off with Cupcakes and Faith, where students got a free cupcake and an opportunity to learn about a topic of their choice in regards to Islam. On Tuesday, the organization hosted a hijab day, where students could try on a hijab for the day and attend a debrief in the evening to talk about their experiences. Earlier today, they hosted a speaker, and Friday they will have their final event, Art Night. We spoke to MSA President Lubna Faruqi on how the week has changed since she first came to Quinnipiac.
Gotten a lot of traction actually, which I'm really a little bit surprised by, but I'm really happy by it. My freshman year, usually it wasn't as well known around campus that this was something that we did, but I think as the years gone by, a lot of our events gained a lot of popularity.
According to Faruqi, the organization aims to grow and even further next year and host an event each day of the week.
Greek Week is here, creating a busy schedule for all fraternities and sororities. Each night consists of a different themed event. Beginning last night with the Greek god and goddess, other events planned today are the Food Truck Festival and a volleyball game on Thursday and a lip sync battle at 9 p.m. Friday. Greek Week 2018 ends on April 7th with a new addition to the event, a barbecue after the big event for all participants.
Like sitting on the quad or complaining about the shuttles, Senior Week is a Quinnipiac rite of passage. This year, the tradition is looking a little different with an overnight trip to Mohegan Sun. Q30 spoke to the Assistant Director of the Student Center and Involvement, Hannah Pancake, on why graduating seniors should take part in Senior Week.
It's really just to create those last memories with the people that you have been going through school with these past 4 or 5, however years you've been here.
According to Pancake, there are still spots available for students interested in participating in Senior Week. Payments can be made from April 9th till April 11th. The recent shooting at the YouTube headquarters left many injured, and a strike in Oklahoma left teachers outraged about the school budget. Sarah Russell joins us today with a national news update.
Sarah, take it away.
Thanks, Chris and Paige. There's a lot happening nationally. We begin with news from California, where a shooter opened fire at the YouTube headquarters in San Bruno yesterday. The shooting injured 3 people and ended when the alleged shooter, who authorities have identified as Nasim Najafi Agdam, killed herself. Agdam's family reported her missing to police on Monday and warned that she may be heading to YouTube because she was angry with the company. According to the San Bruno police chief, her anger at YouTube's policies and practices were the motivation for the shooting. At this time, authorities have said that there was nothing linking Agdam to any of the 3 victims. Oklahoma teachers have spent this week at the state capitol fighting for an increase in the school budget. The teachers are asking for a $150 million increase in the budget as they are lacking in necessary supplies for students. A few days ago, the state approved a fraction of the funds, but schools remained closed and teachers continued to protest. Teachers say the $50 million added to the budget will barely be enough to buy each child 1 new textbook. Students, parents, and teachers have been sharing pictures and stories of dilapidated textbooks and of teachers working 6 jobs to make ends meet. Schools remained closed today as teachers continued to protest. In a press conference on Tuesday night, President Trump shared that he wants to send the U.S. military to the southern border. He wants the soldiers present while the border wall is built. According to the law, the military can only help with the border security and is not allowed to make arrests or detain migrants. Military members would only be able to take on this role if Congress were to make a special authorization. Both President Obama and President Bush have deployed National Guardsmen to help with border control in the past. That's all I have for your national news. Chris, Paige, back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up after the break, spring is here, and Kyle Vassar is here for an update on the weather we can expect tonight and the rest of the week.
Plus, Olivia Schuler is here catching us up on my favorite entertainment news. Stick around.
Whether you're on the quad, in your room,
Or heading to class.
tune in to Q30 News.
For stories by student journalists you can trust.
We are covering the latest here on campus and in surrounding areas. Get the news you need to know every Wednesday night.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. QCash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
Welcome to the WQAQ Morning Show. Dan Ball and Emma Spagnolo joining you here from the QAQ studios in Hamden. And Emma, it is that time of year again.
They say April showers bring May flowers.
Is it time to break out the flip-flops or cover up in a rain jacket? Kyle Vassar has the answer to that question in a weather update. Kyle?
Thanks, guys. It was a bit dreary today. If you were on the quad, you noticed, it was constantly raining or drizzling, and there was plenty of wind. And in fact, it was so bad that the National Weather Service did indeed place a high wind warning throughout northern New Haven County, including Hamden. So Quinnipiac Public Safety did close off the path that connects the College of Arts and Sciences to Tater Hall for the risk of those high trees falling on top of anything or splitting. So that path is currently closed off, but it looks like tonight and into tomorrow morning the wind will settle down. Let's take a look at the temperatures today. It was 43 degrees here in Hamden. It's going to cool off a little bit tonight. It's about 29 degrees right now, and then tomorrow afternoon it should be again low 40s for the most part. Let's look at the rest of Connecticut. We'll start at the eastern part where you'll see there's no more rain anymore. The rain has moved on to the eastern part of the state. New Canaan is 34 degrees. New Haven, 37 degrees right next door to Hamden. And then, like I said, the rain has just moved on to the eastern part of New London, the state capital in Hartford, 36 degrees with some rain, and then Killingly, we still got some rain. It should be gone by tomorrow morning, but the storm has moved on to the eastern part of the state. And tomorrow, it looks like it will be clear as we move on to my 7-day forecast to finish off. And, the rain, it's going to, as I move over, it's going to continue Friday and Saturday into the weekend. So, if, spring is here and it's coming and the days are getting longer, but it looks like this weekend won't be the best for being outside. If you want to hike that giant, you might have to move it back to the last couple weeks of the spring semester because there's going to be some rain. 54 degrees is your high for Friday. It's going to be a bit cool on Saturday with some storms. And then to finish off the week, Monday and Tuesday. Monday, it's going to probably be one of the better days of the week, pretty mild, 45 degrees. With some clouds. Tuesday, we get a little more rain and a high of 45 degrees. Guys, it looks like April showers really are here. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Kyle. Between the fights, the breakups, and the babies, there's always some quality entertainment news to catch up on.
Now we have Olivia Schuler with an entertainment update for the week. Olivia, what do you got for us?
Thanks, guys. Let's dive right into entertainment news this week. Former governor of California and actor Arnold Schwarzenegger had open-heart surgery this past Thursday. On Friday, Daniel Kachel, spokesman for Schwarzenegger, tweeted, "The former governor of California underwent a planned procedure to replace a valve that was originally replaced due to a heart defect in 1997. According to Kachel, the pulmonic valve was successfully replaced, and Schwarzenegger's first words upon waking up were, "I'm back." The 70-year-old is in stable condition and even took to Twitter on Monday tweeting that he was grateful to be alive. Blac Chyna celebrated Easter Sunday in a not-so-holy way after she got into a filmed altercation at Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California. The video shows the reality star attempting to swing at an unknown person with a hot pink toy car and be held back at different times during the altercation. The mother of two was at the park with her 2 children and later posted on Instagram saying, quote, "I do not condone violence, nor am I a violent person, but shout out to all the amazing mothers out there that will protect their children at all costs," end quote. Both groups involved in the altercation were escorted out of the park. Country singer Jesse James Decker and NFL husband Eric Decker recently welcomed their 3rd baby this past weekend. On Monday, Decker shared a photo on Instagram with the caption, "Forrest Bradley Decker, born March 31st, weighing 9 pounds. We are so in love." The country star has been documenting her pregnancy journey online and sharing milestones with her fans. The couple has no plans for a 4th child, as Decker stressed that 3 is plenty in an interview back in October with E! News. One of Hollywood's most beloved couples is calling it quits. Hold back the tears as I say Jenna Dewan Tatum and Channing Tatum are separating after 8 years. The couple broke the news to the public on Monday, sharing a joint statement on their social media accounts, saying, quote, "There are no secrets nor salacious events at the root of our decision. Just 2 best friends realizing it's time to take some space and help each other live the most joyous, fulfilled lives as possible," end quote. The couple met in 2006 on the set of Step Up and have 1 daughter together. That is all the entertainment news I have for this week. Back to Chris and Paige at the desk.
Thanks, Olivia. After this quick break, Robin Brown is in the Piazza with an update about the spring sports teams.
Stay with us.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Qcash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
Spring sports are here, and Robin Brown has got you covered on what is going on.
Robin, how are the Bobcats doing?
Paige, Chris, the Bobcats have been up to quite a lot, not just here in Hamden, but on the national stage as well. Quinnipiac men's ice hockey head coach Rand Pecknold was selected as an assistant coach for the United States under-18 men's national team. Pecknold just concluded his 24th season as the Bobcats head coach. Under his leadership, he has guided the program to 18 straight postseason appearances, obtaining at least one playoff win every year. Other remarkable accolades include appearances at the NCAA Frozen Four and the national championship game. Pecknold said, quote, "It is an absolute honor and privilege to have the chance to represent Team USA," end quote. Pecknold served as an assistant coach for Team USA in last year's IIHF Men's Championship, mostly working with the team's power play unit. Traveling to the field, Quinnipiac men's lacrosse junior attack Foster Cuomo was selected to the national team of the week on behalf of the United States Intercollegiate Lacrosse Association. Cuomo received this honor following his selection as the MAC Player of the Week, his second time receiving these honors. This season, he's tallied 8 points in a win over Detroit Mercy on 6 goals and 2 assists. Cuomo leads the Bobcats, this entire roster, in goals this season with 20. The men's baseball team opened up MAC play this weekend in Jersey City with a dominant sweep over St. Peter's. The Bobcats outscored the Peacocks by a 40-run margin, setting a Division I program record after scoring 28 runs in the third game of the series. This led to sophomore Evan Vogelmore getting MAC Player of the Week honors after hitting 3 home runs in consecutive plate appearances, alongside Ian Osberg, who took home his first MAC Rookie of the Week this season. Hopefully the snow and the rain will part ways soon, so the Bobcats spring sports teams can get back to full action. Paige, Chris, back to you on the desk.
So that will be all for this week on the Q30 Newscast. Make sure you check out all our website at q30tv.com and follow us all on social media at Q30 News.
We will see you this time next week. Thanks for tuning in and have a great night.